Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Just checking some stuff. If my mic is working, yes, it is. Okay, boys and girls. Yep. So, today the plan is to present the Grounded CD project. I see some previous messages from which um, the stream hadn't started. So, Kiko, thanks for the message. And what's up, West? Keep the grind going. But as I was saying, today the plan is to present the Grounded CD project. That will happen in 2022. Um, and this last week of 2021 will be basically to keep working on let's say back end things of the project. The project is a community project. Okay, let's go to its next. Yay! What's up, Tiger Wars? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, the Grounded CD project is the description of the project is to build an entire city from the grounded backyard. Every element in the backyard will be repurposed to be part of the city. So, for example, uh, the laser towers can be buildings, or the baseball the baseball can be something else. I don't know what. And the cans can become homes, you know? As we build, we will discover things. Or, for example, the mysterious machine can be part of a mall or can be part of a dance club, you know? It is hard. It is hard, Tiger. But that's why it's a community project in which uh, I won't be doing this alone. In fact, this is not an attempt to build a city for me, but it's an attempt to build a city that everyone feels that are theirs. Okay? As I go through these slides, you will understand better. And the objective of this project, first of all, is to have fun, and second is to showcase the haze is to showcase the potential of Grounded's endgame to the gaming community. The haze will also be part of the city. It's the entire, well, if you see here, everything you see here on this picture, even the edge, everything, the pond, everything will be city. You won't see grass, you will just see city. Ah, that's a good idea, West. That's actually a good idea. So imagine that everything on the backyard will be part of a neighborhood or an area of a city. So uh, I still don't know what the city will be about. We will talk later about this. Let me just go on to the presentation. And why do I feel that's important to we showcase the potential of Grounded's endgame? Because if you think about Grounded is divided, really, it's divided in two parts. You have an action and a little bit of adventure while you're doing the missions, right? And then when you finish the mission and unlock every recipe, you enter in the end game of Grounded, which is building and a bit of surviving, right? Mini City, that's a name that we thought about it. Well, actually, I thought of Minneapolis. But anyway, so I believe that we as players and that love the game, we should get together as a community and showcase what is possible to do on Grounded, right? Uh, I mean, if you think about the popularity of Minecraft and every other game that has an end game that's about building, the games got known based on what you were able to do with it, right? All those big buildings. I even saw someone building a functional computer on in the game of Minecraft. Okay, that of course that Grounded is a little bit far from that, but anyways, I think you guys get a point. Hey, Kinetical! I sent you a message on Discord exactly about this project. I don't know if you had the chance to read it. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Jonathan? Welcome to the chat. So, we have set what's the description of the project, that's building a city, and the objective of the project is to showcase what Grounded is about, right? Its end game. Then, so how do we organize this project? We will have three teams, okay? Each one with a leader and responsible for a specific scope of work of the project. And team leaders are responsible for their team members, not just while we are playing, but also to recruit them, right? Because I believe that, and again, I think this is a community project, and I don't want to own this project. I want just to help leaders and member own the project. So if you are a team leader, I suppose, or at least that's the way I think, that you would like to play with people that you trust and that you like, right? Yeah, I was the same, man. Last 2 3 days I was totally family things. So no problem. I'm happy that you are here. Uh, so as I was saying, I think that team leaders should, I mean, they should decide, right? Uh, who they want to build their team with. But we have limitations because we don't have dedicated servers. So one of the limitations is that every team must be divided into cells of 3 players because we can only have 4 players online. One of the players must be me, and then the team leader and 2 more. But this doesn't mean that the teams only needs to have 3 people, right? You can have 10 people on your team and they will rotate while playing. Each one can dedicate on uncertain task. Um, Okay, I already explained everything. So we have three teams, and the three teams are the resources team, the engineering team, and the architecture team. Okay, the resources team, they are responsible for crafting tools and collecting materials. Okay, so these guys are our collectors. They are the backbone of the project because everything the engineering team or the architecture team needs, they will provide. Okay, uh, and then comes the engineering team, and they are responsible for building every construction, right? But what kind of construction they will build is determined by the architecture team. They are the guys that design the construction, that create the building's instructions like Lego instructions. You know when you buy a Lego box and the instructions come? Well, that's exactly what the architecture team will do to engineering team build and to resources team make that material available. Okay? To do materials list of the building. So that's as I said. And then after the structure is ready, the architecture team hops online and do the interior decoration and do the final check of the area. Okay, so just to explain the process in 3 words. Okay, so imagine that we have a neighborhood to build. The architecture team will design. Hey, what's up, Cat and Crown? The architecture team will design this neighborhood on their game, right? Like, let's say offline, okay? They will design this neighborhood offline. They will do the list of materials, the instructions needed, and with all these materials, the resources team gather all the materials in one session online. And when we have these materials, the engineering team comes and build it. That's a great idea, West. That's also a great idea. Okay. So just to explain even better the stages, okay, of this project. We are at the moment at the first stage, which is, the first stage is to invite members, okay? Team leaders will be invited by me. Team leaders must have at least plus 500 hours of gameplay because we want people with vast experience. And I have a good news to you guys that we already have the team leader for the resources team. Nonetheless, the team leader for the resources team will be the scavenger king. I mean, it's a perfect fit, right? He likes to scavenge. We need resources. He knows the best ways how to get resources, and that's what he does. That's what he did for more than 1,800 hours of game. So he will be the resources team. Exactly. He is our grinder. As I said, team leaders are invited by team members are invited by team leaders. So if you want to be on the resources team, you should talk to Paul, the scavenger king. Recommendations is that team members have at least plus 50 hours of gameplay. It is. I'm happy that he accepted the invitation, actually. And why? I mean, this is something also that the team leaders will decide. This is just a suggestion because you want people on your team that, I mean, know what's going on in the game, right? If you pick someone, if you add to your team someone that only has 10 hours of gameplay and haven't completed all the missions and don't know all the resources, maybe it will be a challenge because while you want to build stuff, he's asking you basic questions, right? but this is not my decision. And then when we have our team set up and ready, we go to the second stage, which is city, concept, and name. Okay? And again, I'm not on the driver's seat. I'm just providing the tools so team leaders and team members can be in the driving seat. So that's why I'm building all this schematic and everything so we can order the project, right? So what the city will be about? Will it be a modern city? Will it be a medieval city? I mean, we can do anything, right? Will the city be inspired by a pop culture thing, like a movie or a book? Um, and while we are having ideas, right, we also need to think about what are our limitations, because today there's not a lot of materials to build on Grounded, right? So the building materials available in the game allow us to do any idea. So for example, if we want to do a city based on, I don't know, on a futuristic thing, or yeah, like a futuristic city, I think that we would have trouble to translate that with the materials we have. Yeah. Oh, don't worry about that, Cat and Crown. There will be meetings and everything. At the end of the presentation, you will see the tools that we will be using to organize everything. Yeah, exactly. And after we get all those ideas that people pitch in, the team leaders will vote on the winner idea. So we will have 3 team leaders, and then we will have a sort of process of voting, and they will vote on the idea. I will only vote on the idea if there's a tie. Okay. Oops, my bad here. Okay. And then after we know what the city is, I mean, even before this part of the city concept, we will start to build a grid. Okay. What is the grid? If you think about Minecraft, it has, let's say, it has a grid, which is a square, right? So it's really easy to plan when building on Minecraft because everything is a square and the unit is super clear, right? What we need to do on Grounded is to build a visual grid, you know, like a canvas with little squares. And why this is important? First, because the architecture team, they need to work offline. So imagine that they are planning a part of the city and they can't fit it perfectly when they go online. So let me show to you guys what I mean. Let me go in Grounded and I'll show to you guys what do I mean about the grid. It's an easy concept when you see, but sometimes explaining with words is not it's not that easy. The benefits of the grid is that when the architecture team builds a structure, we will be able to place it perfectly on the online save, because they will do based, yeah, exactly, only 4 players can play. That's why the grid is so important, because without the grid, I mean with the grid, the architecture team can work offline. So I mean the architecture team can work at any time, right? And then when they do the building, they just need to send us the instructions and we will build online. Let me see. Any save in creative will work. So this will accelerate the process. You know what I mean, cat and crown? So, okay. Let me go to the, you guys are seeing this, right? Let me just check if you guys are seeing the game. Oops, you guys are not seeing the game. Okay. Now, okay. So let me go to the mysterious machine, because that's the plan that I have where we should start the grid. I'm at creative with bugs, so no need to worry about thingies. Okay. So imagine that the grid starts here, okay? And what we will be doing, it's this. So this is one square of the grid, okay? And then we go building through the entire map or sections that we're gonna build, okay? And the advantage of doing this is because everybody will know exactly where. Yes, the resources team gets everything to everyone. When you go online as an engineer or an architect, you don't need to worry about resources. So if I say that can be done also, Milk, it's all up to you guys. So if we decide that we're gonna build something on this square, starting from this square, the architecture team will be able to do it. But imagine this here, you know? Like, this is the end and the beginning of one neighborhood, right? Imagine that their squares are over, and this is the end and the beginning of a neighborhood. If we don't have the grid, possibly the architecture team will start in the wrong place. You know what I mean? So the grid is basically our canvas. And this is the grid. And this is the first step. We don't need to build a grid of the entire backyard. We can build a grid based on the areas we plan to build first, and then second, and then third. And this is considered a unit. Why? Because this is the size of the floor. This is the size of clay. right? This is one clay. So imagine when we are building roads, right? Imagine when you are building roads and how much the grid will help us to understand how much of materials we will need for the road, where it starts, where it ends, and I mean, if you played SimCity, you know what I'm talking about. what what I'm basically trying to do here is to get a SimCity map and put it on grounded, right? Because then we can plan the size of every neighborhood, right? It won't be a guess. So there's a bunch of benefits of building a grid. So that's the grid. If you guys have questions about the grid, let me know. So now let's go back to the plan thingy. Okay. So the grid is basically our workbench. It's unit by unit, right? I already talked about this. It's like bringing Minecraft blocks to the world of grounded. The benefits is that the architecture team can work offline, will reduce building mistakes, and communication becomes more effective because I can pinpoint places and we all know where it will be. So for example, if I want to pinpoint a place there's no landmarks, I just need to put a trail marker with the number of the grid, you know? Okay. Number 4, first draft city blueprint. What is this? It's the definition of the city areas. Let me go back here and it will be better to explain. So imagine, let me go photo mode. Imagine that we will have a map of the entire backyard. Okay? This is small, but oh, freaking shit. Fuck. No. But this is, of course, this is small, but imagine the entire map here. And we will divide, oops. Okay, this is good. No! My god, I'm pressing the wrong button, sorry boys. You know when you look at the map and you see, that's what I wanted. You know when you look at the map and you see the neighborhoods lines, you know, dividing the neighborhoods, the streets passing by and everything. So this is our first draft of blueprint. So imagine that here there will be a line and we can call this area downtown, you know? And then the first area that we're going to build on the project will be downtown, you know? And then we will have the grid ready for downtown, and then the grid ready for the second area that may be a commercial area, industrial area, or residence area, or whatever area we want. And then while the resources team collect the materials, the architectures will be doing the area 2, and while the engineers are building the area 2 offline, the resources materials are already collecting the resources for the second area. Okay? Basically, this is the process. Now let me get out of here. Okay, I can stay here. Let me just bring back the mirror. Okay. So the first blueprint is basically this. We're gonna draw lines around the entire map to determine where each neighborhood will be. Okay, residential areas, commercial areas, industrial areas, downtown, just what I said. Uh, and of course, the ideas for the integration of all backyard elements to the city, right? So, for example, if we decide to make a city based on Harry Potter, right? What will be the 3 laser towers on this world of Harry Potter, right? We need to integrate that. And all the other juice boxes, I mean, and everything, the Battletoad, or for example, the Frankenline can be our movie theater or something like that, you know? And I mean, these ideas can be brought up by anyone, a team leader, a team member, guests, it doesn't matter. If the idea is good, it will be there, right? Or will the mysterious machine be a dancing floor, you know? And then we build around the mysterious machine a disco. Or, yeah, I mean, if we decide to build a city based on Roman architecture, you know, we can build a Colosseum of the sandbox, right? I mean, there's no limits. Uh, and so after the first draft, we go to the construction phase, the construction stage that is constructing the areas, which I already explained a little bit. We will build the cities area by area, and my first estimate is that there will be 10 areas. Okay, and every third area is a residential area. And residential areas are built by guests invited by team members. Again, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to make this project to be really, really, really a community project. Not just by what we say, but I mean on daily basis. Okay, so that's why I'm giving and I'm distributing decisions and let's say power into the project for everyone. So team leaders invite team members and team members invite guests. And what guests will do? Everyone that wants a house in the grounded city will have a house. They will be able to come in and build their house. Okay? And that's why every third area is a residential area. So we have 2 areas, maybe a commercial area or Ben. That's a good idea, Kat. There will be a commercial area and maybe I don't know, service area or public service area with hospital, a school, or whatever. Okay? And then the third area will be the residential area. Who builds the residential area? The guests. The guests that members invite. Okay? So this way, if you are a really big fan of Grounded and you dedicate a lot of hours on Grounded, you can be a team leader or a team member. Okay? If you dedicate not so many hours, but you want to be part of the project, you can be a guest. And you can build your own house on Grounded. If you get super excited about the project as a guest and you want to be a team member, you can talk to the team leader of one of the areas and he will surely be happy to add you as a team member. But then you have a little bit more of responsibilities, right? That's a good idea. We can build we can build a residential area for team members. Like it's a perk, right? as you're dedicating so much time to the project. Maybe your house area is a little bit bigger, right? Because, and here comes the grid again, right? I mean, what is the area, the pattern area for guest houses? Maybe it's 10 times 10, maybe it's 20 times 20. And this will also give perspectives to the architects when they're planning the residential areas. So if I want to fit, for example, if I want to fit 10 houses in an area, I already know that I will need a grid of X and Y size, right? This makes the project faster, we lose less time, we don't waste resources. Okay, the next step is the calendar. I haven't put dates. I mean, I did the calendar on weeks because I still don't know when it's going to start. I have already started sending messages to people that I know to be team leaders, right? And maybe they, because team leaders will have a big role in this project. And I mean, so you need to find people that are really excited about the game, that has more than 500 hours on the game, because this is a long-term project if you think about. Like my estimate is that will take at least at least 46 weeks. So I mean it's almost a year, right? And if you add, for example, the updates, it will be more than 1 year of project, right? Because I mean, people have other things to do. I mean, we can't be working 8 hours a day on this project, right? We also have a life. But this is a good thing to talk about how this schedule will work. So, for example, on January, we will have a new update of the game. On the first day of the PTS, the project takes a pause of 30 days. Okay? Because people want to play the new update. People need, I mean, team leaders and team members need to understand what are the changes of the game. How can we incorporate these changes to our project? Like, for example, if on the next update comes a bunch of new building objects, I'm sure that we will want to integrate that to the city. Yeah, but if you add, I mean, if you're going to have 4 updates during, or 3 updates during 2022, you can add more 12 weeks to that, right? Because it will be a pause moment, so we cannot understand the update, as I said. And me, as a content creator, I also need the time to create video tutorials and everything else. So, in week 1 and week 2, let me give a little zoom here. On week 1, week 2, I'll be inviting project leaders, and project leaders will be inviting team members. Okay? And of course, every team leader will have induction and instructions, right? That we will build together. I don't want to be the guy saying what each one has to do, but it's cool to have a process, because this way all team leaders and members of other teams know what's going on. On the week 3 and 4, we will do the city concept and name. That's the stage 2, right? And we will invite all members and guests and whoever wants to participate to do this city concept and name. And we will be working with this tool. When we are talking about creative things and having ideas and brainstorm, we will be working with this tool, which is the Miro. Okay? On the week 5 and week 6 is the city blueprints first draft, And as you can see, we will start to build with the resources team and whoever wants to join the grid. Okay, we will start the grid from the mysterious machine, and then we are expanding row by row, right? So we will have like almost 1 month to build the grid, and the architecture team will have 2 weeks to build the city blueprints after we discovered what the city will be about. Okay? And also the engineer team will be helping with the grid, while the resources team collect all planks. The engineer team will be building it. Okay? And then when you go into the week 7, as you can see, it's always 4 weeks for each construction area. On week 7 to week 10, we build the first area and everybody is involved. Week 11 to week 14, the second area. Week 15 to week 18, the third area, which is the guests area, right? Where they build their own houses. If we go faster than we planned, of course, this is just a guess, right? An estimate. If we go faster or if we go slower, we go adapting. There's a jump to the last area. Okay, this is the calendar. Last but not least, the tools that we'll be using to the project. Yeah, exactly. So for the Discord, as you're saying, Cat and Crown, we got the voice comms, daily updates, voting things. I mean, the Discord is the center of the thing. If on my website, I'll do a web page. So if you want to tell about the project to anyone and direct him to a place to know all information about it, it will be a page on my website. Pick Time is a web application so we can organize the live sessions. So for example, the plan is about live sessions. I will be online and streaming for 5 days a week, okay, for 2 hours. For 2 hours. So today I only stream 1 day a week for 2 hours. As the project grows, I'm opening more days, and by the end of it, it will be 5 days, 2 hours a week, which we will be able to work on this project. Which means that we need an organizer to know who will be online on each of these days, right? So this is also a tool for team leaders to know which members of their team will be online in that session. If someone doesn't appear, we can have a system of warnings, and it's always good to have extras, right? So that's why I think that the teams should have at least, the architecture team should have at least, I don't know, 16 people working, because they will be able to work offline, right? On building things and creating list of materials and everything. To keep us on track of every task, we're going to use Trello. That's a project and task manager, and Miro, as I said, for brainstorm sessions. What's the good thing about this tool is that it's a canvas, and you can add and put anything here. And there's a lot of templates of brainstorming and things like that. And I can invite you to edit this board that I'm using. If I share this board with you, you can edit, you can put notes. It's a team thing tool. Okay? So this is the project, guys. And as I said, my next step is to find the next 2 leaders, team leaders. of this project. If you guys have any questions about it, we can talk about the project. If you missed any slide, I can go back. So in the next, my next live stream will be the 1st of January of 2022. And my plan is to start working with the resources team to collect materials to build the grid. The save that I will be using will be the same save that I did the live stream. Remember that I did 2 live streams of a full run on Grounded? That's the save I'm gonna use. You missed the 3rd slide? Okay. The 3rd slide is the teams slide. We will have 3 teams, each one with a leader and with specific responsibilities. The resources team is the team that will craft tools and collect materials. Okay? They are the backbone of this project. Everything we need, they will be collecting and crafting. The engineer team is the team that build every construction. So resources team collect, engineer team build. So when engineer team goes online, every resource should be available. As I said, we will have 2 hours per day, 5 days a week. So every minute is important. I mean, this is just the beginning of a dream community project. If the project grows and grows and grows, of course that I will try to open more hours so we can build. Everything depends on the participation of the community, right? The architecture team is the team. The architecture team is a team responsible to design constructions, create building instructions, like when you buy a Lego box, you have instructions, right? So the architecture team will also do the instructions on how to build their creations. Do materials lists for buildings. So for example, if I do a house, I need to tell the resources team what materials engineering team will need to build that construction, right? And after the engineering team builds the structure, then the architecture team comes in to decorate the interior of the building. I mean, I don't want to build, or at least, I mean, we can decide this together, but I think that on this project, every building should have a purpose, should have the right decoration. I don't think we should have empty buildings, you know? Oh, let's build a hospital. And then in the hospital, there are no beds, there's no counters, I mean, there's nothing, right? It's just to show. I want a place that feels alive, you know what I mean? And they also do, of course, the final area check. So for example, we build area 1. Area 1 is ready. The architecture team comes in. They decorate the interior. And while they are decorating the interior, they're checking the details. You know, oh, this area is perfect. Maybe we can do this and that to make this a little bit better. This was built wrong. We need to rebuild it. I mean, you know, it's just a process. Any other questions? I'm gonna share with you guys my Discord channel, and with my Discord channel, if you are interested in being part of this project, you can send me a message and we can talk about it. And so this is the Discord. And um, as I was saying, the next steps is to find the team leaders. I gave myself 2 weeks for that. I already have found one. Now, as soon as I find the other two team leaders, I'm going to start to work on the processes with them, how they envision, how the resources leader envision their participation step by step, uh, and then we build all this step by step and instructions guide to Trello, to this guy here. And this way, when every team member gets into the team, they can go into Trello and see what are the steps, the step by step of what is being a resources team member. Same goes for engineering, same goes for architecture. Okay? So we will have, I mean, it's, so what I am doing on this project, because I'm talking about what every team leader will do in the project, right? But I'm not part of any team, and I'm not like a director of the team. I'm just a provider of outside tools so the teams can organize, right? I'm like creating the workplace mainframe, right? I can give suggestions, of course. I can counsel and everything of that. But these three guys, they have the last word for everything. Okay? They will get together. I mean, I'm here like in the middle, like I don't know, just to balance things and asking things. Yeah, I'm like the manager, but the manager has sometimes deciding power, which I won't have on this project. These three guys and their teams will have the deciding power, and I think is a healthy thing. For example, if we need to decide what's the concept of the city, what I would like to see is that the engineering team leader would talk to their team, to his team, and his team would do a voting, deciding which would be what will be the city, and he will bring that to the meeting of leaders. You know what I mean? Because then everybody feels represented in a way. It's not just a vote of a team leader, but it's a vote of his entire team. Same goes for the resources team and the architecture team. The more people feel that this project is not about one individual or a small group of individuals, I think the more this project will shine, you know? My intention is that every team member feels that, hey, this is my city, you know? I'm helping to do it. I'm an important part of this big group of people. This is basically uh, my vision to this project. And that's why, I mean, I don't want to have a vote or a deciding position into the project. About the tools, everyone will have access to all the tools. Of course, that Miro it will be a tool more. I mean, everybody can join the meetings we are having on Miro. But for example, if we are brainstorming something, to don't make a confusion of it, only team leaders would have access to the editing tools, right? Because imagine 10 people writing notes on the same place. So there will be, of course, levels into these tools of what you can do and you cannot do based if you are a team leader, a team member, or a guest. But it's not uh, it's not something that people should see as a privilege or a lack of privilege, but a way to keep things organized, you know? Too many people editing and too many people, rah, 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 at the end, you get lost on the process. And I mean, if you want to edit something on Trello, you can all, as a team member, you can always ask to your team leader to do it, right? It's not something. So basically, this it is, guys. This it is, the project in 6 slides. And I wanted to do like a presentation to you guys because I think it's important to start uh, sharing a vision, right, of what I want to do, uh, or how do I see in the end of, I don't know, 50 weeks or something, of what we accomplished. If I started this project just saying, I want to build a city, come on, let's do it, right? I think it would be a short and poor version of what I really mean with this project. At the end, what I would like as a result is that we helped Grounded be a bigger game, right? Because people will see how much can be done on this game, and because of that, they get excited to play the game. So this is my, and I always said this. I mean, on my streams, I think that as a content creator, uh, I do have a certain responsibility, even though I am a small content creator. But I acknowledge the responsibility that I have when creating content to Grounded or to another game that I love. I think it's not just creating tutorials and I mean things that people search for, but also there's another side, which is the side that people have more fun, which is this creative and imaginative side, right, of building things, and then bringing that, wow, this guy, this guy's built a city. So imagine when you see this picture. Imagine when you see this picture. You just see a city. You won't be able to recognize that this is the Grounded backyard. Imagine that you can't see, imagine that you won't be able to see the sandbox, because the sandbox is now a football stadium or whatever. You know? And then I think that this brings the wow and shows the full potential of the game, right? I mean, yeah. So on this stream, uh, I thought that I would just present the project. So it's a short stream, and on the 1st of January of 2022, my plan is to, with the people that we have already on the team, we start building the grid. 2v2 basketball games. That's also nice. That's also nice. That's also nice. I mean, I mean, the backyard is huge. We can put so many ideas to work, right? So imagine that we have an Olympic center, right? And we have basketball courts, we have football courts, ice hockey courts, we have a golf course. I mean, and I'm sure that the the more, I mean, because we can't imagine what will be the end of this project, because every new update, new things will come, right? So imagine that in the last update, we are able to build a farm of insects in which they reproduce, right? And then we will have a berry farm, and together with the berry farm, we can have an industry of building berry leather. And in the side of the berry farm, we have a farm of insects, right? It can be the more the countryside or rural area of the city. I mean, everything is possible. Olympic pool. See, you just gave another great idea. We can have an Olympic pool. So we can build the Olympic park close to the pond or to the flooded area. Who knows? I mean, the architecture team will have to break their heads. But everything starts with this: the concept and name of the city. When we get this right, and people are excited about the city concept, 1,000 of ideas will come based on that concept. Because when we think, the first thing that comes to our mind is, let's build a normal city, a city, a city as we know, right? This is the first idea. And then we start thinking on things that we know to put in that city. But maybe we can build a city that is based on a feeling, you know? We can call it the fun city. And then everything that's in the city must be fun. I'm just throwing out stupid ideas, but I mean, everything is open. Everything is open. I mean, if you are a fan of a TV show, that the materials allows us to build the city of a TV show, that's an idea. What do you mean by host 1v1v1 and someone that streams to the other members? Oh, I know what you mean. I know. Oh, you mean, okay. You mean like a swimming contest, right? I mean, and this is another thing, Cat and Crown. In the moment, in the moment this city is built and ready, we can create events, right? We can host events on the city. Who knows? Maybe when the city is ready, we will already have dedicated servers. And we can invite 10 people to the city. Right? So I think there's a lot of potential on this project. Not just to show the grounded end game, but also to bring the community together. You know? I mean, in the moment that people start getting excited about this project and they want their house on the city, you know, they want to build their house on the city, things, I mean, starts to change, right? It's something to us. I mean, the way I see it is this. I think this project is something to get the grounded community closer together. Poof. If I could describe it in some words, is this: let's get the grounded community closer together. That's my biggest intention with this project. And I think that this is the best way to end the stream. If you guys have any other questions, I'll give more 5 minutes. And if you don't, I'll finish the stream. But I won't stop working. Because this project is much more about offline work and management tools and talking to people and finding people and understanding what each one think than playing the game, right? The people who will really play the game and show their talents are here. Resources team, engineering team, and architecture team. One detail. You can apply sending me a DM on Discord. Uh, One detail that I didn't say, and again, I think it translates a bunch of what is my role on this project. I have to be online, right? Because I will be hosting the game until we get dedicated servers. But when I am online, I am just another member of each team. So let's say resources team is online. I'm another member of the resources team, and I will be taking orders from the resources team leader. So if he tells me, Spy, chop grass, I will chop grass. Same goes for the engineering team leader. Spy, build roads. I will build roads. Okay? I will always follow the lead of the team leader. I think that if you're thinking on applying to a role, you need to think on what you most like to do on grounded. I mean, I'll take you. I'll bring Paul the Scavenger King again as an example. I'll take the Scavenger. That's almost it, Cat and Crown. uh, I'll take the Paul the Scavenger King as an example. I mean, that's what he loves to do, and I know no one else with the passion that he has of scavenging, collecting things. You know, if I mean, if he was like on engineer team or architecture team, he wouldn't be happy as he is being on resources team because that's what he likes to do. He likes to find patterns, to collect things as fast as he can. You know, he knows where everything is on the map. He can predict what you will need. You know, I mean, that's that's his game. So, I mean, I surely want you to be on this project, Kinetical, because I know you have what 8,000 hours on the game. So, I mean, if you are excited about the project and you want to take a role, I mean, more than welcome, dude. The architecture team, as I said, will play more offline, right? Because it's about design, construct. It's about ideas. When we have the main idea together, the architecture team will be responsible for bringing this big idea to these small ideas. You know, like planning which area of the backyard will be for each part of the city based on the landmarks that the backyard has. Like, for example, we have the three laser towers. This can be a thing to integrate the city, or in between this, or in the middle part of this three laser towers is the center of the city, is the town, is the main area of the city. I don't know. This will come. Of course, everybody can give ideas, but at the end of the day, the architecture team will say what it will be. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I completely know what you mean. Well, if you want to be a team leader. We have two spots, engineering team and architecture team. And if you want to be a team member, I mean, any team leader will be happy to have you. Okay, boys. I think that this is it for the stream. Cat and Crown and Kidnetical. If you want to keep chatting, I will be on Discord as I end this stream. And that's it. Let me see. Next Saturday, because the 31 to the 1, I mean, I'll be with my family. It's the last day of the year. Hey, Edgepack, you man, I'm just ending the stream. So Saturday, the one of January the 1st, I will do the first stream of the year. And we will start to build the grid, or whatever the resources team leader asks for. Okay, cool. Cool. So if you guys want to join, we can continue talking on my Discord if you guys want to join. I'm gonna end the stream. And the last thing I want to say is thank you for taking your time for the presentation of this project. And I hope that on 2022 I have the possibility of streaming every single day building this project, and if I could, for 8 hours per day. And Merry Christmas. Thank you, Cat and Crown. Merry Christmas, guys. And a Happy New Year. But that I will do on the 1st of January. Cool. Let's chat more on Discord. Bye bye, boys.